Yo, what's up? It's your girl Shawana, aka King's Daughter, and welcome back to my channel. And welcome to 2021. 2021, y'all. We in there. We made it through 2020. So this is the first official video of 2021. The last one I filmed in 2020. So I was like, oh, we're gonna film it at the end of 2020 with 20 questions. But then I uploaded late. That's what happened. So I made it the first video of 2021, which is cool, but we're back at it again. Peep the new setup. We don't have that, what was that red, we don't have that red thing up no more. We're not by, well, I had y'all by the window where the good lighting was at. Now I have to readjust the lighting because I didn't change my room around a little bit. New year, new hair, you know what I'm saying? You know? Look, I got me a wave cap, got me some like wave gel situations or whatever. Sis is trying to get waves. Shout out to my barber, Joan. That is my barber, y'all. He's also my pastor. Don't judge him, okay? He'll give you the word of the Lord and he'll line you up nice, okay? It's been about, I want to say a week or two since I got my hair cut, and I feel like it's growing back quite swiftly, which I don't like. Shout out to my girl Shaylin Crystal. She came through it, you know, dyed the kid up the little copper, you know what I'm saying, yo? We smooth out here, okay? Look, one day, y'all, I'm gonna get waves and I'm gonna be those dudes you see, like, if you're in high school, you at school, they always got the brush and they always brushing their hair. Yeah, that's pretty much gonna be me when I learn how to get these waves together. But welcome to 2021. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below and come join the fam. We'd love to see you back here again. All right, y'all, let's get into today's topic, which is being alone. Now, I want to talk to y'all about being alone because this is something that I personally struggled with. I really didn't care for being by myself. So in this video, I'm going to take y'all from how I hated being by myself to loving my me time. And I know you're alone watching this video, so just stay tuned. Listen, y'all, back in the day, I hated being by myself. If I was by myself, I hated being by myself because I didn't want to be with my thoughts and just running rampant all up in here, you know, just I just wasn't cool with it. I'm just like, bro, why am I thinking so hard? And what am I thinking about? So I would just waste my days away watching TV. If I was by myself, I would find anything and everything to watch. I'm like, bruh, rotting my brain just watching TV. It's just a mess. Or back in the day when I had a car, which I don't have anymore, I would find something to do and somebody to do it with, whether it was going to Walmart, late night runs with my friends, going to parties, meeting up with guys, whatever I found myself to do, I did it. Side note, I also have gigantic big issue with FOMO. For y'all, FOMO, F-O-M-O. For those of y'all who don't know what FOMO is basically an acronym, basically the fear of missing out. I hate missing out on stuff. I just hate missing out on stuff. Like, if there's a party or something, especially when I was back in college and especially in that chunk of time when I lived on campus, if there was a party or a kickback or something that was going on either on my campus or around my campus and I wasn't there and I saw somebody on Snapchat posting about it, I'm like, I'm that person, like, no invite. Like, that was me back in the day. Like, and I know y'all hate those people, like, well, it wasn't my place to invite you and all the other stuff, and people get annoying and they're like, oh, you ain't invite me. I'm like, friend, it wasn't my place to invite you. What do you mean? No invite. I barely got an invite. What you mean? I couldn't understand why I didn't like being alone. Like, I just couldn't be by myself. And I'm like, I want to learn how to be by myself and be okay with it, because it's not gonna always be a time when I have people around me, or I have somewhere to go, or I have a car to go somewhere in, or it's this thing happening over here and this thing happening over here and that thing happening over there. I'm just going to be able to go to it. There's going to be those times where I can't go, or just my body is tired and I don't feel like going. I remember my father would always tell me, you do too much. You need to sit down. Anything I found my hand to do, whether it was going out with friends or helping somebody or helping out with the church, helping out with my church, or like getting together and meeting up with friends. Anything I found myself to do, I was doing it. And I was like, this for me personally is a problem. I don't want to feel like I always need to be around people. And I'm an extrovert. I love being around people, but it's just, I don't got to be around people all the time though. Like I need to learn how to be okay with being by myself. I also wanted to learn how to be alone because whenever I get in another relationship, I don't want to constantly always be up under my significant other and feel like I'm smothering them, because I personally don't like being by myself. So one day when I was in college, I went to see the school therapist and I told him about this. And I was like, yo, I don't like being by myself. And I feel like for me, it's a problem. And he was like, well, why don't you like being by yourself? I'm like, well, sir, I don't like being by myself because I have a huge fear of FOMO, and I just don't like being alone with my thoughts. I feel like there's always something happening. There's always something for me to be a part of, and I want to constantly be there. And he posed the question to me, well, what's wrong being alone with your thoughts? Bruh. Like, what do you mean, sir? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, what's wrong with being alone with your thoughts? Who said that that was wrong or that's not normal? I don't know. I just don't like doing it. You ever just be thinking like, why am I thinking so hard? Like, what am I even thinking about? It just be random stuff. Like, don't nobody care about what I'm thinking about right now. Like, what? And I just felt like it was wrong. Like, I didn't need to be thinking all like that, quick and rush. But then at that time, I didn't realize that I had ADHD, and that's why my thoughts are constantly rushing. And I told him, I was like, man, listen, there's just some things that I don't want to think about all the time. I just want to go out. I just want to have a good time. I just want to party, live it up to the fullest. And you know what this dude told me? He was like, okay, so if that's what you feel, then do the opposite. I said, huh? Say what now? Say what? I got to do what? So if that's how you feel, if you constantly want to go out and do whatever, then don't. Just take some time and intentionally be by yourself. And I was like, all right, bet. So one night, one of my favorite comedians was coming to town, and I was like, okay, I want to go see this comedian. Who trying to go? I'm hitting everybody up, texting everybody. Y'all trying to go see this comedian with me? I'm really trying to go. It's tonight. I know it's last minute, da-da-da. Everybody bails. I'm like, yo, this is one of my favorite comedians. I'm not about to sit here and not go to this man's show. And I was like, okay, so now's the time. I'm going to go by myself. I was scared. I was terrified. I don't know why. I went by myself and I was like, okay, you know, because I'm like, I'm the type of person, I am like scared to ask questions because I don't want to look stupid. I was like, I didn't know where to park. I didn't know where this place was at. I was just like, okay, I'm just going to go support one of my favorite comedians. So I went, I think this was like, 3 years ago? But I went then. I had an amazing time. I went by myself. I was laughing so hard. I even got a picture with the guy. Like, if y'all know who Kev on Stage is, like, if you go back through my Instagram, and I'll put the link in the description for the IG, period, you can see me and him in a picture together. And if I find a picture, I'm gonna have my editor throw it up. I'm gonna have her throw it up right here. But yeah, I went to his show by myself that night, and I was like, man, I had such an amazing time. I feel like if I would have went with somebody else, I wouldn't have been able to take a picture with him or like meet him at all or do none of that stuff. I was just like, oh, this being alone thing isn't that bad. Like, oh, okay. And then after that, I was like, shoot, what else I'm finna do? I'm finna take myself out to eat. And I went to Red Robin by myself. And I was just sitting there eating my macaroni and cheese and my burger just by myself, having a good old time. I'm like, and I left Red Robin. I paid my little tab or whatever. And I was like, oh my goodness, why am I not doing this more often? Like, this is so fun. You take yourself out on a date, okay? Just learn how to be okay with being by yourself. I went back to him, I think maybe a week or two later, and I told him, hey, I did this thing. I did it by myself. I didn't have anybody go with me, and I had a great time. Like, I enjoyed being with me, and we explored some of the other reasons why I don't like being by myself. Some people close to me, they don't care for being by themselves, so like I've noticed that with them, and I'm like, okay, and I'm like, do I really want to take on that trait? I'm like, no, I don't. I want to be okay with being by myself, being okay with just being here and being me and my crazy running thoughts and all that stuff. I decided in that moment that no, it stops with me. I'm not going to be like them. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be okay with being by myself. It's not going to get passed down to me to where I have to feel like I always need to be around somebody in order to be validated or whatever. I love people, don't get me wrong. I have some amazing friends and family, and I love being out in the community and serving my community, but sometimes I just need that time to take care of myself. I decided in that moment that I will not attach my value to the people that I'm around. I will be happy and alone rather than being around a bunch of people and being miserable. Now, I can't say that I love being alone and that I love being by myself, but it's a lot much more easier to bear, especially now in the midst of a pandemic. I've had to learn how to be by myself. I have rearranged my room a few different times. I've figured out what my purpose is in life. I've studied the Bible more. I've done a lot of things as far as like self-care and self-discovery, if you will. That's the whole purpose of this channel. Look at that growth. But being alone is no joke. It was bad to the point where I've put myself in some pretty dangerous situations that I didn't necessarily need to be in. Luckily, praise God, I came out of them okay and unharmed. But you know, just now that I'm looking back on that time, I'm very happy that I've learned to not only learn to really live with being by myself and being alone, but all in all, in turn, to really end up loving myself, to really end up embracing myself, who I am, and really figuring out why I'm here on this planet, why I'm putting out this YouTube content that some people really don't care about. But that is the charge that I'm gonna leave you guys with. Really evaluate yourself. If you're young, you still have time to really be okay with this concept of you being by yourself. You don't always need to be around people. It's okay if you want to take a break or whatever. Or even if you're older, like if you're my age, I'm 24. So even from high school to now, like really evaluate, do you like being alone? Do you really value that interaction with yourself? Do you really like take the time to just rest away from people and really just just take a breath in the moment and really embrace yourself and really love yourself. So I challenge y'all, if you, it's hard in a pandemic and it's hard now, especially depending on when this video goes up. I'm filming this in January. It's cold in Ohio right now. I was gonna challenge y'all, take yourself out on a day. Be COVID safe if you do that. Even if you're just in the house, in the crib by yourself, do something you like to do. Turn off your screens, turn off your phone. I like to journal, I like to write. So write your thoughts down. What else can you do? I don't know. Play solitaire. I like doing that too. Does that make me old? Am I elderly because I like playing solitaire? Don't judge. Just do something that you like to do. Just take the time to really just be in the moment with yourself. Also, big advocate for meditation. If you're by yourself and you don't want to watch TV and you're just like, oh, my thoughts are everywhere, I just really need to calm down. Really just, if you got Spotify, Apple Music, or even if you're on YouTube, I know you're on YouTube because you're watching this video, they have like meditation sounds. Just get in a space where nothing's around. You don't have to do the home. You don't gotta do that. I don't do that. But just really sit and breathe. Take in some breaths. Count each breath. Inhale, exhale from 1 to 10. And that helps with, clearing the mind as well. This is just some tips. If you have ADHD like I do, you need to meditate because they help you focus and get your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? You know how long it be taking me to really sit here and really think and do these YouTube videos? I have to meditate and or / pray before I do this because I be all over the place. That is my challenge to you all. Whenever this video is up, try to do it once a week if you can. Just take yourself out, sit down, meditate, right? Do something you love doing. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you tap that like button, honey. Also, leave a comment down below and let me know how y'all feel about being alone. You just be feeling all sad and pitiful. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. just be up in the comments. You know, tell me how y'all, if you've ever really sat there and evaluated being alone and, you know, really sitting with your thoughts, or just being okay with being by yourself. If you're trying to follow the kid on all the socials, I will link them down below. And remember, if you stayed this long, you got through this long old video, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. All right, y'all. Well, that's it for today's video. And remember what I always say: peace, love, live, laugh, and be blessed. All right. My name is Shoutout, aka King's daughter, and I'm out.